What is going on, guys, and welcome back to the Residual Earners Podcast, episode 31. We are going over goal setting today. I'm Jordan.
I'm Presley.
And you do not want to miss out on what we have in line for you today. One of our hottest videos we did, third
Early
or fourth
on.
video we did was 7 steps to goal setting. We were going to take it a touch further and go into 10 today. Really diving in deep because it was we got such good feedback from that video, so we're excited to get that moving today.
Yeah, you can compare and contrast too, because last time it was kind of my 7 steps to goal setting. This is Jordan's 10 steps to goal setting. And, I will say this, Jordo, it's hard for me to believe this is 31.
31.
My gosh, that's been 8 months ago now.
Guys, we say this every time. We're just blown away by the feedback and the subscribers and the TikTok channel and how that's just booming. It was a slow start, and then it just we got some jet fuel and takeoff has happened. Guys, now we're coming out with some Residual Earners merch. We've heard from y'all, and people are wanting that, so there will be some Residual Earners merch. It's fun. It's cool to be getting the brand out there and hearing what everybody thinks about it.
We might have the Residual Earners cult.
I know. Fan club.
I don't
think you can use the word cult anymore.
Can't use the word cult. Okay, fan club.
Fan club.
Followers. I don't know what the word is. We'll think that
the Residual Earners Club.
Residual Earners Club. I'm going to tell you what, if you don't have residual income, you want some residual income. I'm telling you. That means you do it once and keep getting paid over and over again. And one of the ways to help you get there is to have some goals.
Definitely. I think goals are key, guys. In the comments right now, go below and tell us what are your goals for the second part of 2024. So go in the comments right now. We want to hear them. Hope they're big. I want to respond to them. I want to see what you guys are doing. And it's just a way that we get to interact and hear from you guys, because this is why we're doing it. We're trying to add value to your lives, and that feedback helps us out a ton.
A couple of just overall thoughts here as we start. Jim Rohn is one of my mentors, and Jim said that when he was a young man, a guy named Earl Schoaf, who was his mentor, asked him when he first met him. He said, "Let me see your written goals. I want to see your written goals, and let's go over them a little bit." And Jim Rohn said, "I don't have any." And Earl looked at him and said, "I bet you're broke then." And Jim Rohn goes, "Yes, I'm broke." I love Jim Rohn. If you get a chance, look at some of Jim Rohn's stuff. He is phenomenal. But here's what I think is that so many people live life backwards. They go through life just kind of hoping they end up in a good spot instead of planning for a good life, planning for retirement, planning for what they're wanting to accomplish in their lives. I think we've got to plan on what we want our life to turn out to be and not just hope it turns out all right. And goal setting is how we plan out our life.
Definitely. And guys, we run with the SMART system. So the step number 1 is to define your goals. So clearly articulate what you want to achieve and make sure your goals are specific. I'm going through puberty. Specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. And SMART's the way you go about that, guys. That's the acronym for that. So specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. So just go over that a little bit, Dad. The specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. What are the perks of that? Why do we use that system? What's the point in doing it that way?
Well, if you've done any research on goal setting, SMART is kind of an acrostic that they use all the time. You want. I'm going to say this: you want big goals. Real quick, tell people about your vision board, because I think we've got to have an overall vision of what we're wanting out of life, and then we come down to our goals and start using those as the stepping stones to get this overall vision. So talk real quick, Jordo, if you would, about a vision board.
Definitely. And I'm looking up. I don't know that I have it in, which I don't know why, because I emailed it to myself, but I can't find it, that I could show everybody. But guys, a vision board's so important, and these goals are kind of the background to that vision board and how I'm going to get there. But on my vision board, I have the house I want to live in, I have the car I want to drive, I have the plane I want, and yes, I do want a jet. I have the family vacations I want to take my family on. I got pictures of all my kids at their happiest moments on there. I have my wife and I in Hawaii together when we were just married and just had an awesome trip to Hawaii. So happy. I have the school I want my kids to go to. My son's a hockey player, and there's a hockey school in Calgary that he wants to go to called Edge. So I have a picture of him with that logo playing hockey. Basically, everything that I want to accomplish in life, whether it's family or some material things on there, it's all part of that right there. I also have how many subscribers I want for the Residual Earners podcast, and I may have to bump it up after the last few weeks. And then we have one of our logistics company, and I have the evaluation that I want that company to be at. Guys, I have everything on there that has to do with my life and the direction I want it to go. And I think it's so important to see that day and night. So that's why I have it in my bathroom at the house. And then I also have it on my smart board as the screensaver on my smart board in my office. So I'm seeing it constantly. And my reticular cortex is sitting there and seeing that. And now we're finding ways to achieve that because it's always on my brain and my subconscious. It never leaves. So that's so big. And, these goals, the steps to goal setting we're talking about is how I'm going to get there. And so that's why we're doing this podcast and going over this. So hopefully you can have the same success that we're going to achieve.
Well, I'm going to start by saying you want big dreams, big goals. If your dreams and goals aren't motivating you, they're not big enough. If I have little dreams and little goals, then it's not going to be what gets me out of bed. I have my goals on my memos on my phone. I read them morning and night. I know what I'm trying to accomplish. I know where I'm going. I know what I want to do with my life. And I'll say this, I've got more goals now at this age than I did when I was Jordan's age. I'm motivated, and that's what gets me out of bed. People say, why do you get up so early? Well, I'm going to tell you this. I get up so early because I'm excited about what I'm doing. I'm excited about what I want to accomplish with my life. I'm excited just to be alive and to have goals and to be working towards them. Now, big goals, absolutely. Big goals. You need time-bound goals. See, when you put a date on a goal, that's what gives it its urgency. If without a date on there and you can just do it whenever, then we do it whenever we get around to it. And if you're like me, those around to it's tend to never get done. So put a date. Now, I'll say this on dates. Most of my goals, I didn't hit the first time I tried. I didn't hit them on that first date. But then all I did was regroup, pick me a new date, got after it, and ordinarily I get them on the second run. I've hit a few of my goals when I was trying to get there, absolutely. And some of them, it took me resetting it twice before I hit them. But you got to have that date on there. So big goals with a date, and guys, you'll figure out that it's going to motivate you, or it does me anyway.
So, guys, step one, we're defining the goals using using SMART to do it. Next, we're writing them down, guys. We're putting goals on paper that makes them tangible and we can reference and we commit to achieving. But we've got to write them down. Presley just mentioned that. He uses the memos on his phone. I have them on my phone, but I also have them in my bigger notepad that I'm in every day. Writing them down, being able to reference them, seeing them every day is so key to not missing them. We may not, guys, we put big goals down 100%, and we may not get them, like Presley said, on the first try, but if they're there in front of us and we're always working towards doing that, then we will get there at some point.
Yeah, and understand when I'm talking big goals, and you heard Jordan, some of his were not financial goals, but you need financial goals. And people always say, why do you put financial first? Well, I'll just say this. I spent about 2/3 of my life with no money. And when you're struggling to pay the bills, it's hard to focus on any other goals. So, yeah, you need financial goals. You need relationship goals. Absolutely. You want good relationships in your life. Health goals. If you don't have your health, none of this other stuff matters, guys. So you need to have health goals. You need personal growth goals. I mean, we want to grow as a person, so I have personal growth goals. And then spiritual goals. You know, you want your life right with the Lord because, you know, eternity's too long to be wrong. We're going to meet him one of these days. So we want to have all 5 of those areas of our life covered in our goals. Now, again, financial goals are important. Absolutely. You know, Zig Ziglar says that, you know, financial goals, or he says money is not the most important thing, but he said it's up there real close to oxygen. So, yes, it's very important to have those financial goals.
All right, guys. So we've defined our specific goals, we've written them down, and now we break them down. And this is something you've heard me say a lot on the podcast. It starts with that vision board for me, and then we break it back down. You know, if that vision board is 5 years out, well, we break it down yearly. What do I need to accomplish yearly to be there at the end of those 5 years? Okay, I've got that. Now I need to break that down monthly. What do I need to accomplish each month of those years to get there? And then in the year I'm in, I've broken it down weekly. So guys, I know each week what I'm trying to achieve to hit those monthly goals, which then hit those yearly goals, which compound over the next 5 to 10 years, which gets me to the ultimate goal, guys. And breaking them down and taking little bite-sized chunks out of it. Because if you just say today, I want that citation longitude, that's the plane I want. Well, that's a big goal. That's a $20 million plane. I don't have $20 million to spend on a plane. So you don't even know where to start to get there. But now, okay, well, I want this company to achieve this. I want this podcast to achieve this. I want, to turn these podcasts into speaking events and live events and all this. Okay, so now I'm building out exactly what I want to do. And now let's break that down even more to achieve it. Hey, on this week, I need to, for instance, on this podcast, I need to post 3 videos a day every single day. I need to film these podcasts. I need to reach out to these people to see if they want to collaborate with us. So now I'm breaking these down into weekly goals that over time will get me there.
Talk about, Jordo, if you would, with our companies, we have strategic planning sessions, which are goal-setting sessions, basically. We know what we want to do for the first 6 months, the first year, 3 years, and 5 years. Just kind of brush on that even with our bigger companies, we have strategic planning sessions.
Yeah, and I think we've discussed it in an earlier podcast. We haven't discussed it in a while, but we run on an operating system, the EOS system, which is where I learned this way of doing business, which also I took into my life. But guys, we've broken, where do we want the company in 5 years? Where do we want it in 1 year? Let's break it down quarterly. Obviously, in the business, we're not breaking it down into weekly activities, but the business is quarterly and then yearly and then long term. But guys, everything we do in life in these strategic meetings is figuring out how do we get where we want to go. And it's just what we're talking about today, setting these goals, and then we're teaching you how to make them happen.
Well, and in a simple sense here, think this through. If I want to lose 30 pounds and I want to get it off of me in the next 6 months, so I want to lose 30 pounds in 6 months. Well, then I would start by saying, okay, well, 6 months, so 6 into 30, I need to lose 5 pounds. I need to lose 5 pounds a month. Okay, then that's 1 1/4 pounds a week. So I need to start measuring what I'm doing, and I need to be losing 1 1/4 pounds a week to hit my goal of 30 pounds in 6 months. So, I start walking, maybe, I start maybe getting to the gym. I start watching what I eat. I start whatever. But I know at the end of the week, I need to have lost 1 1/4 pounds for me to hit my ultimate goal of the 30 pounds in 6 months. Just kind of break it down. How do you eat an elephant? You eat an elephant one bite at a time. How do you reach big goals? By breaking it down and just doing them step by step step by step by step, whether it's a business and you're having strategic planning sessions or you're trying to lose 30 pounds. Just figure out what you need your big goal to be, then work backwards. So 5 pounds a month, 1.5 pounds every week, and just work backwards and start working towards it. And then you can track, okay, I'm a little behind, I'm a little ahead, and you can know where you're standing.
Definitely, guys. So the next step would be setting priorities, and you want to achieve all of these things. Now we're figuring out what are the most important things I need to be doing to get there and prioritizing them first.
Well, yeah. You know, you're going to have goals, but you got to figure out which ones mean the most to me. Well, pick me, you know, if you got 10 goals, that's great. 10 goals is fine, but then pick the 2 or 3 that you really want to focus on, that you really want to make sure you hit those. I'm going to try to hit them all, but the ones that I am really focused on, that's the ones that I'm going to put at the top of my list, and those are the ones I'm going to look at the results and where I'm getting every day, because that's the ones that mean something to me. And if I'm trying to, you know, let's say I want to get my, I want to get $100,000 in the bank, okay, and that's a big goal to me. I want to get a nest egg of $100,000. I'm going to do it over the next 4 years. Well, then I need $25,000 a year. I need to start figuring out, okay, how much do I need to get in there every month, and figure out what the interest is, and then all that compounding, and see what I need to do to get that $100,000. Figure out the most important ones and put them at the top of the list and really focus on them. Again, we're going to try to hit them all, but figure out your 2 or 3 that you're really wanting to accomplish.
Definitely, guys, and we've alluded to this a little bit already, but the next one is creating an action plan. And guys, I kind of jumped ahead there. And how I like to do it, but keep breaking it down from year to month to week. You got to create a action plan. And, you know, before, well, I guess my thing is you don't go anywhere on vacation that you don't have, when you're going to a restaurant, whatever, that you don't have a map of how to get there. But as Presley says, a lot of us are living life with no roadmap. And that is one of the scariest thoughts ever, guys. We get one shot at this. We have one chance. So let's have a map of what we want to get accomplished in life and a roadmap of where we're going with that vision board, breaking it down and creating an action plan so that we can, you know, when we look up in 10, 15, 20 years, we haven't just wasted time.
No, one of the things that's sad to me is it'll take somebody 10 years to do something they could have done in 10 months. And I think, you know, back to, you know, our if we had a goal to lose 30 pounds, that's one of the things on our list. Guys, I know that I need to get some exercise. Whether it's, you know, if you're just now starting, then get out and start walking a few blocks. I mean, you know, if you're in real bad shape, walk a few mailboxes. But we've got to make a plan where I know that every day I'm going to get out and walk for 30 minutes. Or if I'm in a little better shape, but I still need to lose some weight, maybe I get to the gym and I'm going to stretch, I'm going to lift a little bit, and then I'm going to get on the treadmill for an hour or 30 minutes. Whatever it is, I've got to get my daily routine. Everything I'm doing in my daily routine is helping me get to the goals that I'm wanting to accomplish. Okay, maybe I'm going to start trying to eat one healthy meal the first month. One healthy meal a day. Great. I'm eating one healthy meal a day. Well, the next 2 may not be so healthy, but then, okay, and starting in month 3, I'm going to start trying to eat 2 healthy meals a day, and maybe 1 meal that's not quite so healthy. I've got to figure out what my plan is to help me get to the end, because I think something that's sad about a lot of us here in America is that we'll spend more time planning a 2-week vacation than we do planning our life, and that is real sad. We can't just hope we end up in the right spot. We need some goals. We need serious goals. We need big goals. We need things that motivate us. And then we need to stay focused on accomplishing those goals.
Definitely, guys. And you know, the next 3 steps I think are so important. Number 6, if you don't do number 6, the whole system fails. Number 6 is staying accountable. Share your goals with someone who can support you and motivate you. Regularly review your progress and adjust the plan as needed. Guys, you have to hold yourself accountable. You have to look yourself in the mirror. You have to hold yourself accountable and say, if it's going to be, it's up to me, and you got to get it done.
Yeah, and here's a way to work that. If it's a give-up goal, I'm going to give up smoking. I'm going to give up drinking. I'm going to lose some weight. I'm going to whatever. If it's a goal like that, you can talk to everybody about it because they're going to all support you. If it's a go up goal and you're sitting there and you're in your sales meeting and there's 10 salesmen on the team and you're thinking to yourself, I want to be the number one salesperson in this group. I can't really tell the other 9 that I want to be the number one sales group with all you guys because they're probably not going to support me in that goal. If I tell those folks that, hey, I'm giving up smoking, they're going to probably be encouraging me and patting me on the back and all that. So figure out who you can talk to about your goals. Your spouse, your kids, some loved ones, hey, they're going to support you whatever you're doing. But just if it's a give up goal, you can talk to everybody about it. If it's a go-up goal, be careful who you're talking to about that because you may be stepping on somebody else's toes.
Did you not want to wear your headphones for today's podcast?
Well, I was letting them rest.
Let them rest, okay.
Actually, I forgot to put them on.
I was like, you're looking a little different over there. All right, guys, so goals are not easy to achieve. And we're setting goals because they're things that we really want to achieve and conquer in our lifetime. And there are ups and downs, there's ebbs and flows. So the next, number 7, would be staying positive, maintaining a positive mindset, even when facing setbacks, learn from challenges and use them as growth opportunities. Guys, in business, in any business we've owned, and some more than others, there are ups and downs, big swings, ebbs and flows. And a saying that he's always told me is the good, what it was. I'm messing it up.
I'm not even sure where you're going, so I can't help you yet.
The lows are never as low, and the highs are never as high, guys. And just kind of stay in that middle ground, and just celebrate the journey. But you have to stay positive.
Well, Jordan and I have started several businesses, and we've had some big successes, and those are great. But we've also had some colossal failures as well, where we didn't reach our goal with a business. And you can't get too high in the good times or too low in the bad times. I'll always tell everybody, try to keep your emotions more in the middle. You're going to have some ups and downs, absolutely. But you don't want these wild swings of emotions because those will drive you crazy. So in the good times, sure, you're going to go up a little bit, but in the bad times, you're going to drop a little bit. Try to keep it more just moderate. In other words, control your emotions. Good times, bad times, just stay focused on what you're trying to accomplish because I promise you, you're going to have good days and bad days, good weeks and bad weeks, good months and bad months. It's just life. So just keep plowing forward. That's why we have goals, is because we've got to keep our focus on the long term. What are we trying to accomplish? Because there will be some ups and downs in the middle.
Definitely, which plays into number 8, which is stay persistent, guys. You've got to stay after it, even in the good and bad times. If you're down, you still have to keep putting a foot in front of the other and making up ground on that goal. Even with setbacks, guys, you just got to stay persistent because nothing worth setting a goal for is easily obtained. If we could do it easily, we wouldn't need to set goals because we could easily do it. So these are difficult tasks that are going to take time. We need to enjoy the journey and stay persistent.
Well, yeah, if one of my goals is to live in a $2 million house, it's not happening overnight. And I'm going to have some ups and downs during that time, I promise you. We've just got to make sure that we stay the course, because staying the course is the key. I talk when I'm talking to sales folks, and I'm saying, your next no just gets you closer to the next yes. I mean, we need to be going for no's. We need to understand that everything isn't going to go our way. We're going to have some disappointments. We're going to miss a weekly goal. We're going to miss a monthly goal every once in a while. But we've got to keep our eyes fixed on what the ultimate goal is and just try to work a little harder that next month and try to get caught back up again. And like I said, sometimes I don't hit my goals on the first time that I put the date on it. I may have to regroup and mark that date out and put me a new date. And on occasion, I have to mark that date out and give me a new date because it just doesn't go like I think it will. But if we don't have dates on our goals, I promise you, you won't hit any of them or very few of them, because it's that urgency. And man, I'm telling you, when I see a date coming and I haven't hit it, I get a little anxious. I mean, I'm ready to get going. I want to see what I need to do to get there. And especially if I've got somebody kind of watching me, if I've got an accountability partner that I've gone to say, I want to accomplish this goal, I don't want to have to go tell them I didn't hit it, that I screwed up and didn't make it. So it adds that urgency, and that's why we want to get people that will encourage us, is because I do think it puts a little more pressure on us, and it makes us work a little harder, get a little further out of our comfort zone.
Definitely. So, guys, that's staying persistent. Number 6 was staying accountable. 7, staying positive. 8, staying persistent. Those are key in goal setting. Number 9, I think, is a big one, which is celebrating milestones. It boosts morale. It keeps you going. You have to celebrate the milestones. And we learned that in the car dealerships. We were always trying to grow so fast. We never really celebrated the milestones we hit. And we've learned from that, and moving forward, it's like, we're going to celebrate, guys. We're almost by the time this airs, we will be over 50,000 followers on TikTok. We're going to celebrate that, guys. When we hit 10,000 followers on YouTube, that is a celebration. These are milestones we want to celebrate and enjoy, because they're all part of those building blocks that are getting us to the goals we're achieving.
When you hit a small goal, just a small goal, it's on a stepping stone to a bigger goal. My gosh, take your spouse out to dinner or do something fun and kind of get excited about, I hit that. I'm not to my ultimate goal yet, but I hit it. Now, when you hit an ultimate goal, then try to do something a little bigger. Maybe you go on a weekend trip or something when you hit a bigger goal, and you really try to celebrate that. But celebrating some successes is huge. I think it keeps us looking forward to it. And, my gosh, if I can get one more, or if I can do whatever, if I can lose 5 more pounds, then we're going to go off for a trip this weekend or next weekend or whenever it is. I think it's important that we celebrate those victories in our life, even the little ones, because, as Randy Hedge, our buddy, says, babies cry for it and grown men die for it. Recognition is a big deal. And if we'll recognize kind of ourselves, that we've accomplished something and we do something fun for ourselves, I think that's a big deal.
Well, talking about Randy Hedge, I think he'll be on not in the 4th or 5th episode from now. Randy Hedge should be on. Don't hold me to that, but I think we have plans for him to come in, and that would be huge, because I think we're going to do a multi-part series with Randy, because we love him, and we know that all of you will love him as well. So I think that'll be.
I'm dare saying a bunch of these folks probably know him.
A lot of people probably know him.
He's around.
So, guys, the last step in goal setting is you've done all of these things. These goals are, a goal at least is going to take 6 months. Most of the stuff, my big goals are 5 to 10 years. And these goals out in the future, we've got to evaluate and adjust. I can't tell you exactly what my life's going to be like in 3 years from now while I'm still trying to obtain these goals, guys. So we have to make sure we're making headway. We have to see the map that we've created. We've got to see those weekly, monthly, yearly tasks we're doing. And sometimes we will need to adjust them because things aren't going as we thought they were. Things are going better than we thought they were. And we need to adjust to keep up with the success, or we need to adjust to ramp it up to get there faster. We're always adjusting and evaluating due to how things are going.
I told you I have my goals on my phone on the memos, and that is so I can read them morning and night, so I keep them fresh on my mind. Jordan's already talked about your subconscious will help you achieve those goals if it knows what those goals are, so you need to keep it fresh on your mind. But understand, I'll go through every month and adjust just a little bit. Sometimes I don't have to adjust anything, but sometimes I'll adjust a little bit on my goals because something changed and I'm doing much better than I thought I would, so I'll bump up the goal. Sometimes I'm struggling more than I thought I would, and I'll bump the goal down just a little bit maybe to make it more realistic to hit, because I shoot for big goals in my life, and sometimes I realize, whoo, that was a little bigger than I thought it was going to be. It's a little tougher to get there than I thought it would be. And then sometimes I set big goals, but we hit them quicker than we thought, and now we're readjusting. And I'm always working on my goals. So the key though is to have them. And you say, well, I still don't really know exactly what to do, guys. Write a few things down that you're wanting to accomplish in your life, and you'll figure out how you need to adjust them and move them around and stuff like that. But the main thing is have some goals, have something that you're working towards.
Definitely. How many goals do you keep at a time?
I've got 12 goals on my list that I want to accomplish in 2024. And again, health goals, relationship goals, personal growth goals, financial goals, spiritual goals. I've got basically about 2 goals for each category that I'm really working on. And, again, sometimes I hit them and sometimes I got to readjust. But I've got 12 goals. Now, like I told you guys, I've got 3 that are my main goals that I'm really focused on. And those are the ones I'm really trying to hit. Not that I'm not trying to hit them all, but I'm really focused on 3 of them.
Definitely. So, guys, let's go back over here. 1 is define your goals using the SMART system. 2 would be write them down, then break them down, divide them into smaller bite-sized chunks. Number 4 would be set priorities. 5 is create an action plan. 6 is stay accountable. 7 is stay positive. 8, stay persistent. 9, celebrate milestones. 10 would be evaluate and adjust.
And go over real quick the SMART, because some people may have forgotten what that is. They might want to write it down.
So, guys, you've got to define your goals, and the system we use is called SMART, and it's you got to have specific goals. They got to be measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound.
Yeah, and think that through. The reason measurable is in there, I can't just say, okay, in 2024, I want to make more money. Well, if I make an extra $100 in 2024, have I hit my goal? Or did I want to make $50,000 more in 2024? You got to know what you're shooting for. So make sure they're specific. Make sure you can measure if you're getting close to it. I didn't really emphasize that point earlier, but I think that is huge, that you've got to know exactly what you're trying to accomplish so you can really keep up with it.
Definitely. And it is it's amazing how quickly these episodes fly through.
Well, I don't know. I'm guessing we've probably been talking for 40 minutes or give or take, but yeah, they go quick. Number 1, I enjoy working with you. Number 2, I enjoy giving people some value. As you know, it doesn't cost you guys anything to look at our podcast. So, hopefully we're adding some value to your lives. That's what our goal is here. That's what our goal is here. Is to add some value and add some positivity and help you reach some milestones in your life.
Definitely. And I think we're really doing that. We're giving it our best effort, at least. Leave in the comments, guys, what you think. We should have some merch dropping soon. I'm excited about that. I'm excited about the steps this podcast is taking. I'm excited about upcoming guests. We have Reagan Rue, who's coming back soon, and one of our favorite people in the world, Harry Lee Sewell, who will be on, and you've got to hear his version of Rindercella. It is a all-time classic, and I think it will go viral once we chop that up into a little video and do a little Rindercella action, because it is one of my favorite little skits that he does.
Amen. We got some exciting stuff coming for you guys.
And then the cowboy. After those episodes, we should be getting close to getting Randy on, and I'm excited for Randy.
Yes. No, we're going to have some fun. And thanks for subscribing on YouTube. Thanks for following us on TikTok. Our numbers are going through the roof, and it's all because of you guys. Thanks so much.
Yep. We appreciate it, guys. And thanks for tuning in. As always, these suckers drop at 7 a.m. on 7 a.m. Central Time, Friday mornings. And, yeah, we love doing them. Awesome, man. Love you.
Love you.
Awesome. Thank you, guys.